What is up, you beautiful people? We got a few minutes here before we get into this thing. As you can see from the link above in chat, there is a multi-Twitch link that I have made for tonight to where you guys can take part in both my stream and in Tantrum stream. It does have, if you've never used multi-Twitch before, it will have two tabs at the top where you can go between chats as you would want to. But yeah, make sure you guys use that link so you can watch both streams. Tantrum is going through his intro right now. If you've never seen his intro, watch it right now. I'm going to sit here and enjoy this. Make sure you're paying attention to this intro because we will have some questions about it tonight. This dude's a legend. Let's go. Let's go. We're repping that merch tonight, baby. It's going to get hot in here, chat. It's going to get hot. Ladies and gentlemen, we have none other than the greatest horror streamer the world has ever known, that Twitch has ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the man, the myth, the legend of whose merch I am sporting tonight. Tantrum. How we doing tonight, brother?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can.
Wait, I should have asked. Can I curse in this or no?
Absolutely, yeah. This is all about you tonight. You be you. We would never ask you to be anything but that. All right, so I do want to give a little preface into. It's going to be a little bit different format tonight. I have disabled all alerts. I have disabled sub notifications. We don't want any interruptions, anything like that. We want to show our guests the utmost respect, and we want to give them the time and the attention that they deserve. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask a couple questions. We've got some questions that I have kind of Tantrum knows about. And then we've got some questions that Tantrum does not know about. So I'm going to ask a couple questions, and then we're going to turn it over to chat, and we'll allow chat from my stream to ask a question, and then we'll allow someone from Tantrum's chat to ask a question, and then we'll go back into the questions we have for this gentleman tonight. Looking swagger tonight, I must say. He's rocking the 5 o'clock again. I'm digging it.
I didn't have time to shave, man. You know what I'm saying?
He says he didn't have time, but I'm starting to think it might be on purpose. All right, we're gonna get into this thing. First off, I want to say thank you so much, dude, for agreeing to do this and being the guinea pig, the one to take one for the team and do the first episode. As I'm sure we're gonna have a little bit of kinks to work out and everything tonight, but I've really been looking forward to this. Tantrum is a great friend of the stream, great friend of the community. The Legion is an amazing community all on its own, and I'm privileged and I count myself lucky to be a part of that. And so I do really appreciate that. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on here tonight.
No, man. The pleasure is mine, honestly. You guys are freaking awesome.
All right. So we're gonna get right into this. First question of the night is, what got you into streaming?
So, honest to God answer, I love being an entertainer. I have some entertaining background. Back in college, I studied almost 2 years of mimeodrome, and I'm all about film and interacting and learning about people's past. And that to me, there's nothing better than being able to interact with people live and giving off like a great vibe, a great just entertainment in general. It's pretty much cut and dry, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I must say it is you make it seem so natural. So like I legit, when I watch your streams, when I legit, like when you do the whole, and everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? So everybody that watches Tantrum streams, he does the, and I'm like, is he actually talking to is there somebody else there? Or is this just part of the stream? And we may never know, but that's what makes it awesome, right? It's just like, when you bring the, what is it, the engineer that people are able to redeem stream points for and allow the engineer to take over.
I don't know if you can hear me. There you go.
There
So
we go.
Matt's one of my technicians.
Yeah.
He's built my PC. He does all the technical stuff. I don't know how to do some of these things. You know, to be honest, he does most of this stuff, and I just sit back and scream at him, and then and then I just eventually I throw some food at him, and then it makes him happy.
Yeah. So if you guys have never met Matt, you guys gotta sneak in there and watch a stream when Tantrum has his technician on stream, and his name is Matt. So, by the way, if you guys have not been able to catch the Twitch multi-link !podcast tonight, we'll throw that link up in the chat, and you are able to open that up and view both streams and switch between chats like we was talking about at the beginning of the stream. All right, so as we've already spoken about, Tantrum is well versed and well known throughout my community, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. He is, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest horror streamer on Twitch. So my question to you, sir, is what
have an
got
Instagram?
you? Yeah, bro. Yeah, you got Instagram.
Oh shit!
What got you into horror? It's kind of a two-part question. What got you into horror, and where does your love for horror come from?
So, the first horror movie I ever saw when I was a kid was actually Nightmare on Elm Street. and I saw it by mistake. It just happens to be on the TV. Uh, and it was crazy because I wasn't 100% scared. I was just like, "What the heck is this? What is going on in this movie?" Because it was the first time that I ever saw a horror movie, or that my parents let me watch a horror movie. I mean, they technically didn't let me watch the horror movie, but it just happened, you know. But uh, another good thing is, I guess I'm lucky in the sense that my parents kind of taught me early on that it's just, it's a dude in a mask, and I kind of learned early on that it's not real. It's not, it might look scary, but it's not real. It's something that, this guy's playing this person, and I kind of got caught onto it. And ever since that, I looked at horror movies completely different, because you can't really. It's not about the people; it's about the monsters. And then sometimes monsters are, they're misunderstood. Like one of my favorite horror classic monsters is not Dracula, not Frankenstein, not Wolfman, not the Mummy. It's the creature from the Black Lagoon. That is my number one favorite horror monster. And in that movie, he's always like, he's misunderstood. The poor guy's misunderstood. He just wants some love, you know. He tries to, mack it to the girl. The girl's like, ah, it's not, you know. And it's just, he can't help it. He just looks weird, you know. And I think that is what also makes me fall in love with horror even more, because the monsters are the main characters in the movie, but they all look different. They're all weird. They're all, they don't really fit in to society. And that's kind of the cool part. And everybody loves that, you know? It's the good part in them, and everybody still loves them for that. Jason's got his mom. His mom is always going to love him, you know? So that's where my love for horror comes from. And I just, and it keeps getting better. I can see The Exorcist 637 times, and every time it keeps getting better.
That's great. That's great. Like, so I can 100% like sympathize with the fact of like me growing up and seeing like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street. Um, they were terrifying. Like at an age of like 5, 6, 7 years old, until I seen Robert England without the mask, and then I was just, and it was like it really brought it home with me. Um, and I was just like, okay, so it's just a dude. It's just a dude in a mask, just like you said, and yeah. So like it kind of like I guess you could say took the mask off of it all, and it wasn't. I realized that it was all just fantasy. It was just a movie, you know, and so yeah, that's great, awesome. All right, at this time, anyone in chat, in my chat, Crypto Kills chat, if you have a question for Tantrum, now is the time to ask it. So I'm going to take about 15 to 20 seconds here so we don't have a bunch of stale airtime. And if you have a question, please post it in the chat, and we'll go from there. What's up, Gurn? How you doing, buddy? All right, so Beard asks, what is the horror movie that ticks you off the most? I don't know if that means as far as like poorly done, or however you take that. What's a horror movie that just absolutely flips your switch?
Uh, Damn, that's kind of tough, because I like all of them. There's a few that I saw recently that are kind of like, dude, why? I feel like the hardest one to say right now is, I guess since it's fresh on my mind, was the Netflix Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That one kind of, I don't know. That kind of put a. I don't know what they were trying to do. I feel like they had something, but then, I mean, it's not bad. I don't feel like it was bad. It was just, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know. I don't necessarily, hate is a harsh word, but because I watch horror movies to get away from the real world, you know,
Sure.
get
Yeah.
away from the real monsters, you know. So, uh, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from the recent one from Netflix is a hard pass for me.
Okay.
It's not 100%. It's like a 50. I give it a 50 out of 100. There you go. Just put it that way.
Is there anything particular that just really sets you off about it, or is it just the fact that it's been done so many times, or
It
you
was
just didn't feel like they executed it, the way they should have?
I think they were trying to be a little too mainstream about it.
Okay.
There's something about it that just too mainstreamy, and I feel like it almost came off as it was trying to make fun of itself for being too mainstream. I don't know. It's weird.
So you like it more when, like, really they really try and, I mean, for lack of a better way of putting it, even though it is fantasy, but they take it seriously. You can tell that there's a lot of backstory to it, or um, because I think we've all kind of seen a movie in our time that you could tell, like, maybe they just kind of threw it together, or they really didn't do enough research about the characters. They didn't build enough backstory, or so on and so forth. But okay. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix.
No pun intended, man. It just rubbed me off the wrong way, you know.
All right. Do you have a question from your chat that someone would like to answer or ask? What we got going on over in the Legion tonight? What you got, Legion? Okay. Nobody's got anything right now. That's cool. We'll move on to our next questions.
Okay, I think we got one. Hold
Okay.
on. Favorite death metal band. So, Abzagorgoth asks, "What is your favorite death metal band?" Damn. Is it? I don't even know what's considered death metal anymore. What? I don't really have a crazy death metal band. I mean, Cradle of Filth is still pretty good. They've done some really good shit overall. Cradle of Filth is pretty good. I've listened to them a few times. I like more melodic stuff, Abza. I like more melodic stuff. Not necessarily death metal. Doom and gloom is fine, but I like to feel when I listen to metal. I like to feel empowering.
Okay.
So it might sound like nails on a chalkboard, but it might have when you actually read the lyrics to it off of Google because you can't understand what the guy is saying. It's a positive message. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I dig that kind of metal. But death metal, the last death metal that I used to hear was Cradle of Filth, and nothing wrong against death metal, bro. You fucking rock on, dude. Right? You do you. But I listen to a lot of like,
Voice to Men.
yeah, but some sweet R&B before going to the gym.
Let's go. Come on.
The white shirts open up.
Yes.
With in the middle of the desert with the wind.
Yes, you get that. Come on, chat. Picture it with me. He lets the pigtail go, and he's just standing there. I think that honestly, that would be like a dope profile pic for Tantrum.
with the rain and the wet abs, you know.
Let's go. Let's go. I'd buy that picture.
But I mean, I would have to seriously paint those abs on though. Jeez, how these currently infant annihilator. Jesus,
I'm actually crying a little bit.
bro, I don't listen to. Yeah, see that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know. Some of it sounds like nails on a chalkboard for real. But I mean, I may have to check out Infant Annihilator some other time. I don't know.
Later.
Put it like the volume at 1, and then put it up from there. You know.
Shoot. All right, so we've got a big one here. I know. For those of you that do follow Tantrum on his social media, he's on Twitter, he's on Instagram. I don't believe you're on TikTok, are you, Tantrum?
I am.
Okay.
I just don't. I just don't promote it as often because
Gotcha.
TikTok's.
TikTok.
It's one of those. Those time sucks, man.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole for sure. For sure. But for those of you that do follow Tantrum already on his social media accounts, you will notice that he's been giving us little snippets. Now, tonight, I don't know how much information he can give us, but I am going to ask the question, what projects are you currently working on, and are you allowed to tell us about your most recent project?
Oh, are we talking about that thing?
The Thing, bro.
Oh. So, okay. All right. Well, some people know more than others, but so everybody's up to speed. I was gifted enough to be offered a role, multiple roles actually, into a movie, a short film. The name of the movie / short film is called. Oh boy, it's gonna be called Zombie Jesus Vampire Hunter.
Let's go.
So take that as you may. It was pretty challenging. I was an associate producer for the 4 days of production. I played to put it lightly, I played a World War II soldier, and I also played a prominent role in as one of the World War II evil guys, commanders in the future. It's pretty crazy. It's got a little bit of everything, from what I can say. It's got Jesus in it. It's got ninja nuns with magical powers.
Let's go.
It's got zombies. It's got aliens. Yeah, I lost my voice during during the 4 days of production because I was screaming a bunch of gibberish. I was screaming in German and
Okay.
a bunch of gibberish, and I lost my voice. But I think you could see on some of the socials, some of the stuff that I posted that I was allowed to post. Some really nasty bits, and that's not even the nasty parts because this movie is gonna have people getting shot, decapitations, people getting cut in half.
Barrels.
Yeah, like
Barrels
Jesus being
of
a
blood.
badass. Yeah, Jesus just kicking ass in the name of the Lord, bro.
Yes! Let's go! Take my money
I'm
now.
kind of upset. Like I'm kind of upset that I wasn't the one receiving the ass whooping because I kind of would have liked that, but it was crazy. It was like I said, it's this this production is kind of it's a short film. It's made off of a shoestring budget. So the this is a something that has been the baby of the director Gus Aviles. Gus is a really good friend of mine, and it's been his. He's been trying to do this since before coronavirus hit, and he had to stop production, stop everything. But the good thing is that it's allowed him over these last 2 years to like organize it better and really organize it as best as possible to finally go out and do it, you know, for once. And he's already done it before too, by the way. So um he's this is the second time that he does this, and he's this is like a more upgraded version of the movie. So Jesus, we got bombarded right now.
Oh, yeah, I see that. So, yeah, Beard wants to know, will we be able to watch this in Sunday school?
Probably not, man. Probably not.
Can we borrow one of the old roll-in big tube TVs, you know, with the VCR strapped to the and just watch it?
I was gonna say the projector, but okay, yeah. I don't know about that one. We might get kicked out of Sunday school for that one.
Do we have any kind of a release date, an estimated release date, or is it still in post-production?
So right now, it's we literally a few weekends ago we just finished wrapping filming. So it still has to go through editing, post production, the whole shebang. So right now, I'm still waiting for the final green light, and then after that, I really want to ask the director if I'm able to get the the permission to show it live. If I do get the permission to show this live, then I am going to make it a what I call the Tantrum Cinema 9000 premiere,
Yes.
and everybody's welcome. The theater is open, and I'll make sure to post it. And if you guys are following me, or if you are interested in watching Jesus kicking ass, and you don't mind the blood, guts, gore, you know, you guys will be able to watch it if I get the if I get the a okay.
Yeah, I completely understand with, you know, copyrights and all that stuff. That can be kind of some tall weeds to wade through, but yeah, if you would be able to get those rights to do that, dude, I am there. I am there. That sounds amazing. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. Our next question is, what is something about streaming that you would like to see change?
So something that I would like to see changed in streaming, right?
Yeah, that can be, you know, technical, that could be it could be anything. Just something that you've noticed as a streamer that, you know, maybe it's something that needs to be you wish was invented. It could be, you know, you wished there was, you know, say for instance, for example, better discoverability, um something that you specifically would like to see changed about streaming today, like about today's streaming world.
So I feel like discoverability is it's almost like a given. It's almost like the carrot at the end of the stick, because that's a big one. It's a big carrot, by the way. That's a really big one.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
But I feel like aside from that, we're slowly getting there. But I feel like I mean investors and big companies uh, are slowly realizing that there's money in streaming and there's just like movie stars. I mean, let's be honest. We're kind of like, even if you do make it, you're still a Z-lister, and there's possibility that people don't know who the hell you are if you show up to like a party or something like that. Only people that are in Twitch will probably know who you are. But I feel like I think it's time for like big time uh, companies to realize that streamers are also just as good as some of the presenters on television and film, and they do also have the talent capable of doing that sort of stuff too. Um,
Okay.
and just give them, I guess, in turn, give them some kind of platform as well. Like, not just treat them as like, I'm gonna slap my logo on your stream and we'll call it a day. And yeah, sure, treat them more like talent in a way,
Yeah.
because they obviously we obviously have a talent that we bring people to Twitch, and I feel like investors should also see that, but more in the sense of like talent and for what they are and what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah. I think to kind of allude to your point, I think we're just kind of starting to see that. Um, like your big brands and things are just starting to kind of catch wind of the potential of Twitch and the exposure that they can get on Twitch. When you've got guys like like Nick Merckx, who've got literally 30,000 people watching their stream any given day. You don't get that kind of focused exposure like with television and things like that, where you literally have an audience of 30,000 people to present your product to. Um, but the really cool thing, to kind of go back to what you were talking about, the first product that they see is you, and so um, it's it's really cool. Yeah, I think we're just kind of starting to see the tip of the iceberg with that, and the potential that lies there.
I think it's about time, man.
About time.
'Cause
Yeah,
I feel like people still see us as people that just generally just play video games, which I know we all do that, but there's some people that have just the gabagoo. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like there's definitely way more of a learning curve to this than I thought there was going to be. Um, yeah, and we'll kind of get into that a little bit later. But all right, so we've asked a couple questions. We're now going to turn it back to chat. If anyone in my stream, in Crypto Kill stream, has a question for Tantrum that they would like to ask, we'll pause for a very brief time so there's not too much static air. And we are opening up that to you right now. So please post your question in chat. And we will ask the man, the myth, the legend. All right, Tactical Strider wants to know, how long have you been sporting the do? The side shave that you rock so well, I might add.
So the do is actually pretty new. It's just it's fairly new. I think it started back in when was it, guys? It's like in 2020 or 2019 when I decided to change the look. I think that's where I changed it. I'm not 100% sure. But the do has a lot more meaning than it just comes off as just something that, oh, that's a cool do. It has, if people that have been with me for a long time, they know that I don't do things just to do things. I do things with meaning. There's a meaning behind everything. So the do has specific meaning. If he wants to get for me to get into that specifics, that's all well on my end too. If the master crypto this
Oh, of course, yeah. By all means, dude, take all liberties. You know, if you're comfortable getting into it, yeah. I honestly, I don't even know. Um, I don't know what the meaning is behind your do that you're rocking.
yeah, the do comes with the territory and the whole re-change of tantrum uh since that time, since the I think it was 20 late 2019, almost 2020, when I changed. I believe it or not, I used to be a Star Wars, this might segue into somebody else's question, but I used to be a Star Wars streamer. And believe it or not, I actually started off as a family friendly streamer. Holy shit balls, bro. Woo, man, I'll
Honestly,
pass.
honestly, to be 100% transparent, I don't find that too hard to believe. I really don't.
Yeah, Rip Battlefront 2 and so yeah, so it came from my love for Star Wars and the other stuff that I do off stream for charity and community service for kids and just feel good and for positivity sake. So I used that and I kind of like segued it and I just said, let's just stick to Star Wars. I do this on the side. I do this on my own time, and let's meet in the center, and that's what we had. So I would, the they both met at the center, and that's where we stuck. But I over time I started to lose myself in the character that I play outside, in for events and stuff like that, and it became a mental struggle. It was not good. It was not pretty for me. It affected me mentally, and then it started to affect my physical self. So I had to kind of like reinvent myself and not be something that I'm not. And it 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 brought me into what this was, which is the new and improved tantrum. The new, I guess you could call it aerodynamic tantrum. With the side shaves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where it actually came from the do comes from amalgamation of other things, but mostly my past and the time, so
Okay, that's awesome. We do have one more question here from Blue that wants to know. I guess this is for the both of us. It says, how long do you see yourself streaming? And of course, I will let the guests go first. So, how long do you see yourself streaming?
so streaming for me is it's kind of weird because it's my it's my way of expression, but it's also something that I would like for me to have a career in, which is it's my goal to have a career in, but it's also it's something that I use to express myself, and it's my release. Okay, let me clarify that before anybody goes a little too crazy with my words here. It's where I get to, be myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody, Tantrum said something about releasing, but it's my artistic freedom to stream, and it's where I can do what I want. I am the magician, and I can create and bring to life what's in my head, and hopefully everybody likes it.
Well, I'm gonna speak for myself. Um, but you are hands down probably one of the most talented people I've ever met. I was actually alluding in stream the other night to the, for those of you all that don't know, the video that was made that you've seen at the beginning of the stream was made by Tantrum. He is amazingly talented. And I was talking the other night on stream. I was like, I wish I just had a thimble full of the talent that this dude has, the creative talent, because he's amazing at what he does. You can tell that he loves what he does. He's passionate about what he does, and it makes all the difference in the world. All that stuff bleeds through into the content that you make. As for me and myself, how long do I see myself streaming? It's funny that you mentioned that because this is my last stream. I'm joking. I'm just joking. But no, streaming for me, I think everybody kind of goes into it um, with that big pipe dream of, I want to be the next big Twitch streamer, or I want to be the next big YouTube star, or so on and so forth, of whatever that success looks like to you, whatever that success looks like, as far as you would wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror and go, I did it, I made it. um Streaming for me has become like my goal doesn't look like that anymore. um of course I want to be successful, but I guess you could say my idea of success has changed. um my first commitment is to my family always. For those of you that don't know, I'm a husband, I'm a father of two boys, and my commitment is always to them first. And because of that, I've actually had to scale back on my streaming. And I was I went into this with the, and I don't want to go on this like too long because this is not my interview. This is Tantrums. But um I thought I went into this with the idea of the more I stream, the more likely I am going to be successful. And for those of you that don't stream, there is a huge learning curve to this. Um, it's not as easy as Tantrum makes it look, and there's a lot to this, and you have to pour a lot of yourself into this. And we'll get into this a little bit later, but we'll get in. But yeah, so as far as how long do I see myself streaming, I guess my answer to that question is as long as streaming doesn't become a job or doesn't start feeling like a job. um, I want to, and it's actually really helped me scaling back my frequency of streaming for me personally, so I can focus more on my family, um, and devoting more time to that. And for those of you that are familiar with my community, you see me a lot streaming with my kids and things like that, and that's because they're at the center of all that I do. They're at the center of everything that I do and why I do it. Um, so yeah, that's a lot of why. But as far as for how long, I guess for as long as it doesn't interfere with my family and the relationships there. So I can't really put a date on it, but I don't plan on hanging it up anytime soon. There's always good days and there's bad days where you're just like, I think I'm done with it. But for myself personally, but then there's days it's just like, you know, I love everybody in my community. You guys have become like family. Um, and so it's hard just to walk away from that. Enough about me. Let's get back to the man himself, the man of the hour. All right. What would be
That was good
This,
timing. I was about to cry.
please, come on. I would like to thank my agent. No, uh, keep my wife's name. So, my next question, we're gonna kind of start, we're gonna start getting into the weeds here, bro. So you're gonna have to start putting your, you might have to get mad out here. We're gonna get a little deep. So, what would be the best advice, since we've been talking about streaming and things? What would be the best advice you could give yourself if you were able to go back on day one when you first started streaming? What would be the best advice that you could give that Star Wars version of Tantrum?
Oh man, don't do Star Wars. uh, what do I say? What do I say? Yeah. Well, okay. Aside from being Star Wars, yeah. Well, like that has actually like a really good. It's kind of tough because um, I see myself, doing Star Wars and stuff like that because I liked it, but it necessarily didn't mean that it was me. It was I was trying. I feel like I was trying a little too hard to be someone else that I wasn't, and it kind of helped me in the beginning. I mean, I don't regret doing anything. I really hate because I don't regret doing things. I did make mistakes, but I feel like when I make a mistake, I try to own up to it, and I have acknowledgement on my part when I fuck up or when I do something that wasn't the best idea possible. Which, by the way, it's a lot of them. Uh, and but regrets, I really can't. I don't really regret doing anything, even the Star Wars stuff, because I feel like the Star Wars stuff. It, if I do tell myself my Star Wars tantrum days is just to be patient, I guess. Uh, I'm really hard on myself. I'm really fucking hard on myself. I kick my own ass. Nobody in this world can kick my own ass better than I can. So when I first started, I really it was like perfectionism versus me, and I always lost. So uh, I feel like maybe not be so hard on myself, maybe. But then again, I think about it, and then I tell myself no because I've done a lot of good things with my perfectionism and stuff like that, and I mean it's that little breakdown that that changed tantrum into with the tantrum that we have now. Uh, it was like a full stop. The ship had like a shit ton of holes in it, and we sank. And I was basically the band playing, and it was, well, guys, this is it. So, but I guess that's like rock bottom. But it's allowed me to reflect back on certain things. But maybe be a little bit more patient and accept that things can't be, I guess, be perfect in a way. So that's the only thing that I feel like I would probably tell myself. Just be a little bit more patient and lenient on yourself. Just a little bit, maybe. You know, maybe don't go overboard with the kicking ass, man. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe, uh, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel
Brass
you.
knuckles is fine. Maybe ease off on the on the bat full of nails.
Yeah, you kind of like, I feel like when you first start out in this thing, you kind of set some unrealistic goals for yourself. I don't, by all means, I don't want to put any words in your mouth, but I feel like everybody kind of like has this preconceived idea of streaming, and you just kind of like you feel like that first time that you hit the go live button, everybody's just gonna be there. So it's yeah, I definitely feel you on the patience thing, which kind of leads us into our next question of we've already talked about how you have started out kind of being the quote unquote Star Wars streamer, and how you've rebranded yourself into what you are now. So my question is, how many times, other than the Star Wars um, saga, pun intended, have you rebranded yourself before you, like, image wise, settled on the image that you have now of Tantrum, the best best horror streamer on Twitch?
Oh, I think I know where this is going, dude. I think I know where this is going. So before, actually, this is before streaming. Before I did any of that. I mean, I actually wanted to stream before back in 2015, and I really wanted to stream during at the beginning of 2015. I didn't make it. I didn't have the capacity to do it, and luckily, it's just one of those things where I was like, okay, it's not the right time. It's not the right time. It's not good. I don't know the I don't know the ropes yet, So, but I didn't do it, and luckily I didn't because that would have put me in the same situation with the whole Star Wars scenario. Um, I, I looked a lot like Wolverine, bro. Before, before I looked like Kylo Ren, I looked a lot
So
like Wolverine.
so do I have permission to show them just how much this man looked like Wolverine? I'm not gonna do it without
Yeah,
your permission, but can I
yeah,
just
yeah.
say, all right, chat.
I kind of censored some of the other stuff, so it was good. No other third party is gonna be upset about it.
When the man says he looked like Wolverine, he looks like Wolverine. All right, so here we go. I mean, need I say more here?
Oh shit! I got the delay. Fuck.
It's like, holy cow! Like, you could be his son, like legit his son.
Wait, you posted it up? You brought it up
Oh
because
yeah, yeah.
I can't see it on your stream.
1 second here. I hope you guys were able to see that. If not, I'm gonna save it real quick. And then we'll see if we can. Oh, I bet I know why. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it. Yeah, Dark, see if you can log in and grab that from Discord, because I don't have it saved on the stream PC. And we'll get to that here in a minute. But it is the similarity is amazing. It is truly amazing. Because I think like the whole finding who you are as a streamer, the branding thing, I think it's probably one of the most difficult things, if I had to say, that you kind of do or deal with as a streamer, is finding out who you are, um what it is that you want to portray to your audience and your community, and it can be very difficult to nail that down. But I feel like you have really kind of like came into your own, and you definitely know who you are and who you want to be, the image you want to portray. And I think a lot of that just really shines through. And it's not on that PC. It's right here, buddy. 1 second. but I think it really shines through in your content itself. Like it's just there's such a continuity um, through all of your streaming, through your merch. Um, yeah, it's yeah, we're getting them, Chiquita. Chiquita. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. Yeah, there we go. Tantrum's got it.
I don't know if you.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I give you Logan Jr. I don't know. I don't like the ring of that. I don't like the sound of that. But you get what I mean. You get what I mean. The man, he's got to be nephews, brothers, uncles, kids, something. Can we just talk about how jacked he looks, though? Come on, dude.
That was pre-corona days, man. Sorry.
Uh, Good stuff. Good stuff.
I might still have the muscle memory, maybe.
I'm sure. There. Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind that yeah, he does, Chad. He does. All right. Moving on to our next question. Thank you so much for doing that, Dark. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Dark.
So, for those of you that were there, that were here at the onset of stream, um, that were able to go and watch Tantrum's intro. I mean, a lot could be said about this intro just in the quality alone. I mean, it's
Yo, wait.
no, I'm being serious. It is top notch. I didn't mean that as a jab or a gig. I mean, I'm talking quality. Like, it's like watching. It's like you're about to watch a new Marvel series about Tantrum. Like, the intro is insane for this man's stream. But there has, like, I was watching this the other night, was watching his stream, and I caught something I'd never noticed before. And so I know that there's more to this than we're all catching. But if you catch his intro, he pulls the curtain back and he's staring out his window of a high rise apartment building. And you'll notice he's standing in front of the window, but you also see his reflection in the window. But his reflection moves, but he doesn't. I don't know. He said there was only been like two people that have caught that. But there's more going on with this story. So my question is what exactly is going on? What is the story you're telling in the intro of your stream?
Okay, sorry about that.
You're okay.
Yeah, everybody wanted those pictures, so a lot of people are DMing me right now for those pictures.
He's this is gonna be the beginning of the Tantrum OnlyFans.
I already showed that, so I was literally about to put it in my OnlyFans, but it's everybody saw it already, so it's like whatever. We'll do a freebie. So back to that question. So there's actually a backstory to Tantrum, and there's a big backstory to it. It's being fleshed out right now.
Okay.
So there might, I don't have an ETA on this or not, but there might be some stuff being done in the future for the whole Tantrum kind of universe type stuff. It's like all I'm gonna say is that the tape, that VHS tape that says Tantrum in it, is a big. It's a gift and a curse. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So it sounds like we've got some lore, tantrum lore on the horizon in the future. I'll
Yes,
definitely
there's
be
going to be
down to
some
check
good
that out.
stuff. Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. I'm working on it right now. Actually, I think some people know if we've I've finalized the tantrum uh, official tantrum song, which soon soon is going to be turned into kind of like a thing. Uh,
Okay.
somebody kind of guessed it here in chat. Uh, Dreamshake kind of guessed it a little bit. We're working on something similar to that, almost like a comic book kind of. Uh, but we're also incorporating some a tantrum song, new intro, working on some other stuff. But the story behind it is primarily the tape. The tape is it I don't want to say too much, but it
Yeah.
brought me to life.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way.
I got you. I got you. And to allude to what Dreamshade says, Dreamshade, I am 100% simping over Tantrum tonight. I look up to this dude a lot, to say the least. He has definitely made me do a hard look at myself and the content that I present, and has made me for sure want to step it up a notch. So yeah, I'm 100% simping. This dude this dude sets the bar high for sure.
Damn, you guys are making me blush, man. I need to step up my OnlyFans content now. Shit.
What's up, Meg? Welcome to chat. Uh, we're gonna turn it to chat. Speaking of chat, we're going to open it up. We're gonna start with Tantrum's chat this time. If you have a question for Tantrum, we'll take a little bit of time here. I realize there is a little bit of a delay between when we speak, what we see, and what you guys see. So I want to give a little bit of time and allow you guys to ask a question. And yeah, we'll take it away there, chat. If you got a question for Tantrum, post it there, and we will ask him. I think we've gotten a lot of great questions so far tonight.
I got one from Biddy,
Okay.
which is uh, it's like an outstanding question. He asked that a while back.
Okay. Is it in your chat or?
Yeah, I'm gonna read it right now.
Okay.
So Biddy asks, what was the journey like towards being in the 501st? Meaning, how did you hear of them? What steps did you take to reach out to them? The requirements to join, etc.
Ooh, this sounds like a deep question. Watch him axes, bro. Watch him axes.
Sorry about that.
You're
Somebody
okay.
trying to kill me with an
Yeah, I
axe.
seen that. They're like axe murderers are just out and about tonight.
Let me get into what Biddy's saying. So, in case you're wondering what the 501st is, the 501st is the Star Wars organization that I'm a part of, that I do outside of streaming on my spare time, um, for charity and for community service. Um, Essentially, it is a organization that is approved by Lucasfilms LLC, and their main goal is to bring awareness to Star Wars, uh, essentially bringing the costumes from Star Wars to life, literally bringing the characters from the movie to life, and then using that for charity and for community service. Um, so that's what I am a part of, and originally I still am. I'm still active in that community. In fact, I did a couple of things last month pertaining to St. Patrick's Day parade. That was a community event for the community, and I got a couple of ones coming up soon too. By the end of the month, I think. Uh, Kids love it. Kids are obsessed with that. The parents turn into kids, and who doesn't like Star Wars? So, well, okay, a couple of people don't like Star Wars, but let's ignore those people for a second, okay? So, the journey towards being in the 501st was actually really rough. It's very it's how do I say this? Um, it's very it's a difficult journey because if you're not somebody that's used to, like, for example, sewing or dealing with plastics, either through dealing with 3D printing, machining, um, casting, molding, dealing with resin, it's really it's I'm not gonna lie to anybody. It's fucking tough. It's difficult as hell. It looks easy, and everybody wants to cut to the chase, but it's really difficult to get something that's first of all approvable. But if you complete it, it's something that is very it's like it's your thing. You created it. You built it yourself. You did it. This is you. And then when you look at yourself in the mirror, wearing you know plastic spaceman stuff, you're gonna be pretty happy. You know. But it was really difficult. The way that I heard about them was just some off thing. It was a family member that actually put me on to them because he wanted to be a part of it, but he was just like, I don't know. It's because to get in it's very difficult. You have to follow very specific rules to getting in and to being approved by LFL and everything. And there's a big process behind it, down to the stitching, like the stitching styles. Like they have to be a specific stitch, a specific hem, everything, like down to the T, in order for you to be approved. And pictures have to be taken. Very, very. It's very scrutinized. But he wasn't sure about that sort of scenario because he didn't like that kind of I just want to do it for fun kind of thing, which is fine. That's no big deal. But I got into it and I'm like, okay, let me try to do this. But what really brought me on was the whole reasoning behind it. It happened to be a Halloween event, and I wanted to host a Halloween event for Halloween for the kids in my neighborhood, and I really wanted them to be wowed. So I just didn't want same thing as streaming. I didn't just want to put on something and the kids come by and just pick up candy. I wanted them to really have an experience and be entertained. See what I did there? And also get some candy, great pictures, and the whole 9 yards. So I was like, you know what? Let me do this as a Halloween experiment, a Halloween mission. I said, let me try to get in this and figure this out. See if I could actually make it, get approved, and then see where it goes from there. Oh boy. What a fucking mess, man. I happened to pick it's just like I happened to pick Kylo Ren because I feel like he resonated very well with me on a personal level.
Yep.
The troubles and the issues that the character goes through, and the emotional attachments that he had to his parents, and how he felt deeply towards them, but at the same time he didn't want to show it to the world and stuff like that. And he was trying to be tough, but in reality, he had very deep attachments to his parents. Like, I feel very personal about that, and he was something that I just want to gravitate to. So I was like, "Hey, man, it's just it's like a black robe, and you get the helmet, and you're done. That's it. It's no big deal. Let's go, man." It's like I'm just gonna grab a black robe and just throw it on me, and there you go, Grim Reaper. Boy, was I freaking wrong. So, fuck, it was just so deceptively easy. Deceptive. Well, I'm sorry, deceptively hard. I thought it was easy. There you go. I thought it was easy. It's just deceptively hard. The weave has the basket weave, which is the outer robe, has to be a certain uh, pattern, and it has to be woven that way. Uh, it has to be sewn in a specific spot. He has hems where it needs to be. The tunic has to be kind of like it's just. And by the way, there are 8 layers between thick cotton. Um, so it's derived of cotton, canvas, leather, faux leather. Um, yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what it consists of in 8 layers, and it's no easy task. Uh, the steps that I took to reach out to them, continuing the question, was uh, so it's a worldwide organization. So depending on the state that you're in, you have to contact their what they consider garrisons. So you might want to go to their website, check them out, see where you land on their map, and then there's a slight chance that maybe depending on where you live, that state might be cut into sections, and you might be sectioned off into squads. So it all depends on you. You could try to apply and check that out, research that, and then really, 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 really research before you go into this, because I spent over 5 years trying to perfect what I look like now in the organization. So it's tough, but it's fun. We do it for good, and let me tell you, even though I don't get a single dime from it, the smiles from the kids is all that I fucking need, though. It's so fucking worth it. Like I can't describe it. It's the freaking best. That is what drives me to do it every day. To get up early mornings, drive like 5+ hours to an event, even if it's just a little kid's birthday. But the look on his face to have Kylo Ren in his birthday, and the fact that the parents are like, "Yo, wait a minute, this isn't like this, this isn't Uncle John dressed up like Santa Claus. This is
Right.
like, you know,
Yes.
holy crap, dude." That's it for me. That makes it for me. That's payment right there. That little kid's smile.
That's awesome.
And I hope that answers your question, Biddy.
Awesome.
Sorry for the length.
No,
Sorry
you're
for the
fine,
length.
brother. Take all the liberty you need. Biddy, excellent question. That I mean, gives everybody a great insight into it's because I think like if you're on the outside looking in, you may to us like myself, it looks like a costume, and I never would have thought like that there was that much that went into the making of that costume, and the high level of oh, what's the word I'm looking for, basically the bar that they set for you to be a part of that, I think really is what sets what it sounds like the 501, aside from just some guys that got together at a local card shop and decided to do something. But it really does set a standard of uniformity. That way when anyone speaks of the 501, it's always held in high regard. And that kind of leads into our next question. You kind of mentioned some things and some influences and things outside of streaming. And so my question is, who is your biggest influence in your life right now outside of streaming? Like, who has the biggest effect on you outside of streaming?
Oof, damn. Gonna make me go soft here, man.
No, it's not. I mean, like, so for those of y'all that don't know, if you've been in any number of tantrum streams, um, mommy tantrum. I mean, the fact, like, it just absolutely baffles me and speaks volumes of this lady, that she cares and loves her son enough to recognize the passion and the desire that he has to really make a go at this, and supports him by coming into his streams. Doesn't just come into the stream and, just like, hey, tantrum, hope you have a good stream. But she hangs out and she interacts with the rest of the chat. And it just, like, for me being another streamer, the one time my dad has came and streamed when I was streaming and testing out YouTube, it was just like, I can do anything. Dad's in stream. And so, just like, to have your mom come into your streams on a regular basis, for first of all, I'm extremely jealous. But it speaks volumes of not only who you are outside of stream, but it also speaks volumes of Mommy Tantrum and who she is, and the effect that she has had on you. And so my question is,
You know where we were going with it. You know where I was gonna go with this. Yes, yep, it's true. My parents are one of the biggest influences. They've always been uh, my voice of reason,
yeah,
I guess you could say. There's been times that they kind of prevented me from doing things, but it's one of those things where I understand that now, being an adult, that they didn't mean it in a bad way. They were trying to stop me from doing something really stupid and really crazy. Uh, but they are one they are the top. They're like the number one. My parents are number one main influence for me to do the things that I do, and my mom backs me up. Well, my dad backs me up too. He loves he. My dad doesn't say much. He's a very reserved guy, but he laughs at the stuff that I do, and he backs me up as long as I'm happy. And mom, she backs me up. She is the number one fucking cheerleader, dude. She's like, "Yo, let's go, let's go."
dude, I freaking love it.
Yeah, she is actually not. She's actually on vacation right now, which is why she's not in stream. If not, she would be all over the stream and
100%.
yeah, screaming at everybody, literally adding everybody in this stream. Good thing she's not here right now, because she would be adding everybody in this. Oh, like, and giving everybody hearts. But that's the good part, I guess. That's not a bad thing. So, but she is the number one. She backs up everything that I do. She looks at everything that I do. Um, as long as I'm happy as well. So she needs to make sure that I'm getting my rest. She's the first one to tell me, "Hey, you look a little tired. Are you okay? Are you eating enough? You obviously aren't eating enough, even though you're overweight." But you know how moms are,
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, she is. My parents are the number one inspiration for me in terms of doing what I want to do, and they know it. My mom has always said it. She says, "You can tell when this is her words, not mine. She knows when I'm doing streaming and that I'm happy because she could see it. It's she says she sees it in my eyes and that I'm doing something that I love to do, which is talking to people, being a lunatic. And I've already done that before. I don't have to be. She knows it. I don't have to be on on stream on cam to do this. I was normally like this, as annoying as crazy in with my family. So my family knows it too. They just, you know,
Yeah, that's and it's no secret around here that family is a huge part of our community, and when you're in tantrum streams, if you become a regular there, you become a part of the legion. You become a part of the family, and they treat you as such. Um, as we try and do the best, the best that we can around here. Um, when you come around, you always get treated first before anything. We will treat you with respect. And by all means, if you return that respect and you come around, you become a part of the family, and we treat you as such. And family will always be a part of this community and this stream. And great, great, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm a big fan of Mommy Tantrum. Huge fan.
I have others too. Obviously, my parents are the number one, but I guess a good if, you know, so I guess this is a good segue into the way I have my brain wired up from thanks to my parents too, by the way. Um, the inspirations that I take from are how do I say this? Like I don't vilify stars or big time people. I don't vilify them and worship them. The what I do like from people and what I will take from people are their work ethics and their ability to project positivity and creativity. If somebody gives that to me, like for example, one of the big ones that I've recently keep going back to is Walt Disney. He's a big influence on me. I think that at the heart of what he wanted to do, that's a big focus, big focus on uh, reinventing things and just trying to break the mold and be creative and positive with his whatever he does and everything that he does. That's what you gotta just make sure that that's at the core. You know, that's a big one. I
Yep.
have others, but I'm not gonna go down the list because it's sometimes it gets a little long and
Not a problem. All right, the next question that I have is, what's something that you find yourself struggling with streaming that you didn't expect? Like, what's that thing that just kind of like came out of nowhere and blindsided you and was like, what? Where did this thing come from? So what is that thing for you? For myself, to kind of give you an example, like I didn't expect streaming to be as much of a mental game as it is. So where does that land at home for you?
uh, man. To be honest, the thing that's hit me the hardest is balancing because I have a day job. I have a day job, and sometimes it causes me to have to stop what I'm doing, which is what I like to do, which is streaming, and have to do that. And I have to call out from the stream. For example, I work Fridays, Saturdays, and sometimes Sundays because of the just the way that the beast is. So I don't get a lot of days off to do the things that I want to do, which is fucking stream. But um, balancing the work and stream, and then on top of that, making other content too that I want to do, or that I feel like being creative and just doing other things, or just having time to think of what else am I gonna do. That's the difficult part because, like, literally, like today, I got up at 6 a.m. I couldn't even get a workout in because I had to rush, get to the freaking office, work, and then I get out at what, like almost 7:30 around there, rush home, try to see if I could get a shower in, which I most of the time I do, and then literally start my stream off at 8:30, and then it goes all the way up to 12 o'clock, 12 a.m., only for me to go to sleep and then try to get up again in about 5-6 hours and then do it again. And it's like, I'm burning the candle at both ends, man. I wish I could sometimes clone myself and then have like, hey, you do the stream. I'm gonna go to work, and then I don't know. Oh yeah, you wash the dishes and the clothes. You go do that, and hopefully I, meaning my clone self, don't fuck up the laundry and turn everything pink. So that's the difficult part.
Gotcha.
And having the time to do the things that I want to do, because I have to, balance work, stream, content. Oh my god, it just hurts my brain just thinking about it.
Family.
Well, yeah, that too, because that's
Yeah.
another thing. Because I have to fill in, family time, go visit mom. Because then mom gets upset. She's like, "I only see you in the streams. I only see you in the virtual world. What is this? An NFT?" And and
Wait, your mom knows what an NFT is?
she kind of knows where like the what is it, the multiverse of
Yeah.
the digital verse, whatever it's called. Yeah, she knows that thing.
The metaverse.
Yes, she knows the whole metaverse thing because she saw it on the news. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you guys are building a.
That's awesome. Well, that leads us into our next question. You spoke of the grind and sometimes how the toll it takes on you, and how you burn the candle at both ends of the stick, and you seem like it's almost like at some point all your days are kind of running together. It seems like there's never enough time to make that extra content, for your social media and things like that, so you can grow that audience on those different platforms. But what is it that really at the heart of you keeps you pushing that go live button? Even though it's a grind, and it's the lack of sleep, and the not being able to do what you want, and you strive for perfection, and it seems like sometimes that in itself, setting the bar so high for yourself, as you said, you're your own worst critic, your own worst enemy, as I am with myself. And you feel like almost like you're almost like at a bad routine of constant letdown, like you've never reached that goal that you want to reach. But what keeps you pushing that go live button?
So, what really pushes me to keep coming back to streaming and hit that go live button? I happen to be talking to him right now. Sorry, I didn't want to douse any panties out here, but no,
Joke's on you, I'm not wearing any.
But on a serious note, it's to be fair, it is you guys, because you guys I can't, you know, I have to be. I'm really happy that you guys, even you, crypto, enjoy the content and stuff like that, and give me feedback, have fun, and that's what drives me to continue doing this because I'm making uh, I'm making a little oasis away from whatever it is that people are having issues with. You know what I'm saying? It's like I could either be at work, right? And even though I'm at work, if you're able to, I mean, this is, you know, don't do this if you're gonna get in trouble. But sometimes at work, when I'm really mad, I'll bring up a stream and just have fun, you know, and just disconnect for a little bit, you know, for like good 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? The whole damn workday, just forget about everything, just not turn anything in, and just stay on the stream. Obviously, not everybody can do that, but I'm just saying, it's you guys that allow me to keep pushing that, you know, that streaming button and say, you know, damn, these guys actually like the craziness. How the fuck can anybody like a psychopath like me? You know what I'm saying? But you know, hey,
Birds of a feather, brother. Birds of a feather.
true. And I mean, also, it's. I mean, I also said too that it's also my escape too. I also feel like myself when I stream. If I'm able to entertain people and give people a laugh, because I mean, I already go to, you know, some of these events to just make kids smile and have kids have a good time. Their parents are super grateful for us showing up and stuff like that. I already do that, you know. Let me do that when I'm not doing that. So I just throw it up on stream. Obviously, they're two different things. Um, one's very, you know, Disney, and then the other's very bloody, gory. You know what I'm saying? But it's a different, you know, it's a different vibe, but the same thing at heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
People can come into the stream and relax, chill out. I can offer somebody a good smile, a good laugh, hopefully, if they laugh at my jokes, which is not always the case. But you know, that's what keeps me coming back. You know, and the fact that people enjoy that and they tell me that they enjoy it, hell yeah.
All right, so Dark has a very serious question he would like me to ask, and that is, what is your best pickup line?
I'm gonna be look. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag right from the get go and say I don't have a pickup line. I'm really terrible at that sort of shit. I'm gonna be real honest with you, man. On stream, I'm alive, but when I'm in person and in that situation and I have to speak to the opposite sex, I'm running for the fucking hills, bro. I don't know what the fuck to do, dude.
Dude, I'm right there with you. Like I just like you know, I'm married, been married to my wife for 18 years, and it's just like I don't even want to go back and even mess with any of that stuff because I was horrible at it then, and I would be horrible at it now. And so it's just yeah, I just yeah, I don't think we can help you out in that department, Dark. That's the lucky finger right there. The lucky finger. All right. At this time, I have asked all of my questions that I have for Tantrum. So we're going to take a few minutes here. We'll take about 5 minutes or so and open it up to the chats. We'll open it up to Crypto's chat. And anybody that has a question for Tantrum, feel free to ask that question. Guys, if you have liked the stream tonight, if you have liked the new format, this is not going to be an every stream format. But if you have liked it, make sure you let us know. Um, if there's someone else that you would like to see on the stream on the next podcast, let me know. Drop it in Discord, and we'll see what we can do to make it happen. But at this time, if you have any questions, Dark, holy cow, bro. If you have any questions in the chat, drop them in there, and we will. By the way, don't be afraid to use that highlight my message emotes ability. Um, Drop it in chat right now, and we'll see. We'll see what's boiling under the surface here.
Oh, tell Dark it's black.
Of course, it's black, Dark.
The underwear.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Black
Thanks
and blue.
Thanks for the clarification there.
Black and blue.
Good question, Beard. Beard wants to know: is there anything that actually scares you?
What actually scares me?
Like actually scares you?
Real world shit. Like the outside world. Like what people consider normal is scary for me. Like I'm pretty good. I'm pretty fine in like horror. You know, I could. So for example, walking into the movie set while I was shooting and seeing, you know, literally a severed, what is it, legs from like the waist down with the guts and everything attached to it was perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. All that stuff I can handle. You know, boils and everything like that. The makeup effects, the slime. Yes, it sucks. It's a little like messed up, but it's still better than, for me, I don't like the troubles and all this other stuff. Like I mean, I barely look at the news. I don't look at any news channel other than maybe a few times I look at the local news here and there every once in a while. But I try to keep that out of my mind, just focus on my stuff, my creativity, positivity, whatever's happening outside. Obviously, it's important for certain situations, obviously. But I try to, you know, it's there. I see it. It's there. But it's in the back of my head. It's there. I recognize it. It's, okay, noted. But I'm not going to let that, something like that affect who I am as a person. And I'm just going to keep doing me. So that's why the horrors for me is just all the static, the outside world static. That you know what? I actually can I say a scary dream that I had?
Sure, of course.
So this is my I don't have nightmares. If you guys know me, I don't unfortunately I don't have nightmares. I wish I had nightmares because that would make me, you know, a little bit more normal, but I don't have freaking nightmares. I don't have dreams. So but when I do have a dream, it is the weirdest fucking shit ever. One night I had a dream where I guess you can consider this a nightmare because I was kind of scared. First time I ever get scared in a dream before in a long time. So I'm out in the forest. Not necessarily the forest when we were playing crypto, but I'm saying like out in the forest.
Right.
Just apparently I was scared and I'm running from something. And then turns out I see something off in the distance. And it's coming towards me. I realize that it's coming towards me. I'm freaking out because I don't know what the fuck that is. Next thing I know, I squint my eyes, and it's literally, I guess you could consider it like a Call of Duty character. It's a fucking Call of Duty character. But imagine a low poly version. He's missing his head. He has no textures, and is in a T pose, and he's coming towards me, and that is my nightmare. I didn't know if to be scared or to laugh. I don't know. That's literally that is literally what I fucking dreamt of, bro. Like I don't know. Back
Dark
I guess
says bad graphics are your nightmare.
I guess that's what I'm scared of. I'm scared of losing my graphic fidelity. I don't know. Like straight up T pose, dude. That guy he had no head, and he was in a T pose, and he was fully gray, and that's what came out of the forest. And I'm talking about like this is like a real forest. It wasn't like a video game. But for some reason, that scared the living shit out of me. And that's my nightmare. I don't have nightmares of me falling off buildings for some reason, even though I'm scared of heights. I don't have dreams of me getting injected, even though I'm scared of needles. I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably not even from this planet to begin with. So I don't know.
You and Elon.
I don't know, dude. It's like nanu, I guess.
I'll tell you, I honestly, this is funny that you bring up dreams and stuff. I had a very freaky dream the other night. I'll ask a couple of questions here from the chat before I get into that. Dark wants to know just how often you do have to shave the sides of your head. Is it a daily thing? Is it a once a week type thing?
So that it does get a little annoying. I've wanted to buy like a machine to do it, just so that it's quicker to do it. But I find nothing that will give me a closer shave. I'm not gonna say it. Than shaving with a razor. So I have to shave it twice, maybe twice a week. I can sometimes get away with it just once a week. But I don't know. I'm sorry, but ever since I did it, I feel so nice. It feels nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. If anybody has ever shaved their head, I don't know. It feels liberating for me. And I don't know. I kind of like it. I know some people it's like, oh, well, but I don't know. I kind of like it.
I feel like the people that do shave their head, it's like when you see them freshly shaven, it's like, yeah, oh yeah, yes, you should shave your head. You have a beautiful head. Of course, you look good with a shaved head. But yeah, okay, awesome. Yeah, Darks is not by choice. You know, he doesn't get the choice of shaving his head. But Dark wants to know, where is your like creativity zone? Where is it that you find that you really kind of get the zone in and kind of get into your element? He said for him it is The Office.
Like the show The Office?
No, like it is his office at his house. That's where he really can like
Oh.
zone into his work and his creativity.
I don't know. For me, it hits me anywhere. It could hit me when I'm working out. It could hit me when I'm walking home. It could hit me at work. It could hit me when I'm sitting on the toilet. I don't know. It's just random sometimes. I don't really have a single spot where the creativity flows. I kind of wish that would be the case, because then I would, if I really wanted to focus, I could just go to that place. But for me, it just comes in waves. It's almost like, the little angel, the little demon on your shoulder.
Yep.
It's like that. But in this case, the demon beats the living shit out of the angel and then kicks him out. And,
It's because the angel always tries to play fair. You know, you can't play fair. There is no such thing as a fair fight.
Yeah.
There's winners and there's
my
losers.
Until the angel comes back with a double barrel shotgun, and then
Until you get zombie Jesus. And then, and then you get the by our powers combined.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But I don't know, man. Like, I kind of wish. I wish I had like a little, like a nice quiet spot. I don't have any of that. I don't have like a little quiet spot. Um, I will say though, I do have some family members down in Orlando, the Orlando area, and like I said before, with the big inspirations for me, sometimes when I really feel drained, really feel like crap, just stuck uh, throughout the year, sometimes just to see them and say hi and stuff like that. I go down and I visit them in Orlando. Um, Sometimes, I mean, I don't have enough money to go to the parks, so they'll just walk us around or whatever, and just seeing some of that and just soaking some of that stuff in, that creativity, that those juices too. That's a big one for me, and sometimes I guess that's where I go to for creativity. But if I had a single spot, I can't say, to be honest.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. What's up, Greg? How you doing, buddy? All right, is there anybody in the Legion that has a question for Tantrum?
This is so dark. Can hear this in hopefully real time. I mean, I don't know if he's here, but you're beautiful, dark. I just want you to know that, man.
Dark is definitely a beautiful, beautiful man, inside and out. We honestly, I don't think I would have made it this far without my friends in Seven Seal Gaming and all of their support and everything. They've helped me so much along the way, and I don't know what I'd do without them. I'd probably look like Dark, bald.
Dark, if you want to run the full monk, roll it, bro.
I've told
Well,
him, I'm like, bro, you look so good, clean shaven.
well, he says like the whole monk thing.
No,
Like,
no, don't do the monk thing, unless you're
oh
gonna start
man,
getting into Gregorian chant, bro.
don't do him like that. That's beautiful, bro. That's fucking beautiful. That's who you are, dude. Embrace that shit. Roll it. Don't don't forget about anybody ever says, bro. If you roll that shit, own it and pull out the robe and everything, dude. I'll put a GoFundMe for a robe and everything.
There you go. He's got a good point. You need to like donate to Locks of Love, Tantrum.
Oh yeah, I tried before. I think I did that before.
Dark needs to sport a Fu Manchu. I would pay to see that. I would pay to see that.
I'll shave my entire head for dark. Dead ass. Besides, I like that feeling, anyways.
Holy crap. How long would it take you to grow that back if you shaved your head?
I have no idea.
Legion,
I don't know.
there's your goal right there. Did we just create a goal for a charity stream? Oh god, Dark. It honestly, Dark, it wouldn't be up to me. It would be up to Mrs. Crypto. Because back in the day, for all of you that don't know, I also have a day job, and for 20 years I did heating and air conditioning, and so I was out in the heat all summer long, and so a lot of times what I would just do is just buzz my head, and I loved it. I loved the way it felt. It was cooler, but my wife absolutely hated it. But yeah, so that's why I've never buzzed my head since. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to keep him held up if he's got other stream plans. Um, If you guys have any last minute questions for Tantrum, now would be the time to post them. But if not, we're going to wrap things up. Let him get on to entertaining the Legion for the rest of his evening. Are there any last minute questions for Tantrum? How do you like your steak? Hateful wants to know how you like. I'm gonna before you answer, I'm gonna say you're a medium rare or medium guy.
There you go. See, you get, I don't know if you heard me the first time, but I said medium.
Okay. I'm a medium rare to medium, depending on where I'm eating. If I know they cook their steaks right, I like a medium rare. But if I know uh, see, it seems like people they don't always hit the medium rare, so it seems like I get more of a medium steak than I do a medium rare.
I just like, I don't know. I like the little, maybe it's because I don't know how to do the medium rare. And I know how to do the medium correctly. So I just do the medium. But sometimes it comes out medium rare, you know? It's iffy. It's iffy. I don't know. I don't,
Yeah.
like you, I don't know. I don't go to restaurants often. And if I do ask for a steak, oh man, I better be either medium or medium well because sometimes I don't know. Have had too many. I think too many food poisonings in my life.
Yes.
Two's
Yes.
too many. What do I do on my off time? Oh boy. Do you like? Do I get into detail on what I do
What
on my off time?
what's
Or
off time first?
yeah, because I kind of don't have off time unless you count sleeping as an off time. In that case, I don't do anything because I can't even dream correctly. So
Oh,
if you say off time, like for example, like when I'm not streaming, I'm probably a lot of the times I'm trying to make or create other stuff for the stream for you guys. So hobbies off streaming and stuff like that. Okay, so shit, dude. Like my hobbies, I guess going out to events and stuff like that is a hobby because you know it's something that I do on my off time. So when I do have the free time to do that, I do go to these events and stuff like that for the 501st. But if I have the time, I'll go to some of my family members' house, and then we usually like play some card games and stuff like that. That's the fun shit.
heck yeah.
Magic the Gathering. If hey, any Magic the Gathering fans out there, fuck yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh or like Digimon and Pokemon shit. Hey, bust
I'm a
out. They're
traditional like
okay.
Uno attack.
I'm over here busting out the blue eyes white dragon, and Crypto's like, "Oh no, you sunk my battleship!"
Reverse.
Oh shit, damn! You gonna have me bust out the Twister, bro?
Not without the baby oil. The Golden Corral is cracking me
Yeah.
up, hateful. The Golden Corral is just hilarious. So crosses want to know you were speaking of your nightmare, the guy in your nightmare. Was the T model scary thing moving its legs when it ran out of the forest, or was it just gliding across the ground? That's actually
No, that it was gliding. It didn't move.
okay.
It had no animation whatsoever, which is what made it more funny. Because I thought I was like, I don't know. It was weird. It was like if Roblox glitched out, and that's what it was.
So, getting back to, I was telling you guys I had a nightmare recently, which is very uncommon for me because I too, um, it's weird because I feel like I don't dream very much, if at all. And when I do, they're never good. Like if I wake up and I remember a dream, it's never a good dream. Like, oh, I had a dream where I could fly or something like that. It's always something freaky, weird. But to go back to the house we lived in before where we live now, it was a much smaller house, very close quarters. That my wife and I got when we first got married, and it had this long hallway. And I remember it was like one of those instances where am I awake or am I asleep? But I had the whole like sleep paralysis thing going on, and I remember opening my eyes whether I was asleep or awake. So either it was there or I was dreaming. I don't know. But every time I tell this story, I get goosebumps. And there was this figure. I always slept on the side of the bed closest to the door because I was raised by my dad. That's just what you do. You as the husband sleep closest to the door. And so I'm standing there and I wake up and there's this figure looming over the bed, and it's wearing like, it's either wearing something dark or it was dark, that you couldn't really make out the gist of the body, but the head was like, the only way I could describe it is it was like the head of a crocodile or an alligator. And I just remember how big its eyes were. And like, see, I was already starting to get goosebumps. But the thing that like freaked me out that I didn't understand was it wasn't interested in me. It wasn't interested in me. It was looking over me at my wife. And so I remember in my dream looking up at this thing and I'm like, leave her alone. And so this thing's like not even paying attention to me. Like I'm just like, leave her alone. And it's continuing to just stare a hole through my wife. Like I'm not even there as far as this thing's concerned. Like it was not worried about me at all. And so the second time I kind of like raised my voice, right? Like you're gonna pay attention to me. And I look at this thing and I'm like, leave her alone. And so at this point, its vision, its attention turns from my wife and just slowly starts to turn to where its gaze is now focused on me. And then it like does this weird like hissing thing at me and then does the whole like creepy thing where it like I heard it really really fast like go down my hallway, and like almost as soon as it ran out of the room it came back and it was standing there again, and then that was the end of my dream. So
Holy shit.
yeah, like I remember this thing in such detail. I'm a horrible artist, but I almost could draw it. And we did move out. Attentive. 100% we did move out.
Yeah, that the whole thing of the sleep paralysis stuff is terrifying for a lot of people. I
Yeah.
think I've only experienced it once.
I wish that was the case.
The first time I ever experienced it was I was super young, and here I go again with the weird fucking dreams here. Okay, but my experience with sleep paralysis Which, by the way, it usually happens when you're facing up.
Yep.
When you sleep on your back, it that's almost always a trigger for some freaking reason. But I happened to be sleeping facing up. I was super young, and I fell asleep, and I had my hands. My head was on the pillow, and then I had my hands just kind of like this over my pillow, just like over my head. So I had my hands over my head uh, on the pillow, and I fell asleep. And I guess that's when it induced the the false dream, false awake, because that's usually what it is. It's like, think of it like a elevator, but the elevator kind of gets stuck in between floors, so it's you're not really asleep and you're not really awake. It's like in between. And right then is where I feel my wrists being held down, and then a person basically floating in front of me, above me, kind of like from like, it's like that scene in Ghostbusters when everybody's asleep, except instead of this beautiful ghost on top of me, or at least floating above me, it's don't fucking ask me why. It's fucking Leonardo da Vinci. No, fucking bro. I'm telling you, man.
It's
I'm
because you're
I
a piece of art, bro.
I don't know, bro. I feel like I'm related to Elon Musk at this point because I don't fucking know. And it's Leonardo da Vinci with the full blown fucking beard, the big ass bushy eyebrows, the hair, the crazy, like, if you Google Leonardo da Vinci and his self portrait, that drawing, it's literally him, but like in real life, with a nasty big ass nose that he's got. And that guy was holding my wrist down. I freaked out. I couldn't move because he was holding my wrists. And then I kind of like jerked up or something like that. And then it was like a dream within a dream kind of thing. So that was my fucking Leonardo da Vinci, bro.
My most recent experience with sleep paralysis. I don't know if you've ever experienced it, but like when you're trying to talk and you almost wake yourself up like going because you can't, like you're trying to talk in your dream, but you are also trying to talk in real life. But I remember I was like in a bedroom. It almost kind of like reminded me of a phasmophobia type bedroom. Just like,
Oh no.
yeah, like your normal, everyday, just nothing special bedroom. And I was just standing in the corner because I was facing the door, the entrance to the room. And there was a dresser there right beside the door as soon as you came into the room. And the door does your, I don't know what I watched or what I ate, but yeah, it might have been Poopy Pants Charles Beard. I don't know. But but the door opens, and nothing comes through immediately, like, which was what drew my attention to the door. Like, what the heck? Why did the door just open? And then all at once, this thing just like leaps through the doorway. It was small in size. It was probably no bigger than that, but it had a very large head, and it like climbed along the wall like horizontally, and it was very, very fast. Very short dream, but that's what the dream, like like I was trying to scream in my dream, and that's what woke me up out of the nightmare. Was this thing, if I had to guess, was bursting through the doorway, running along the wall, and trying to make its way to me, which is what I was like woke up freaking out about. But ugh, didn't have all that stuff, man. I ain't into that sleep paralysis crap.
Yeah, that's always the sleep paralysis sucks. And luckily, it's not chronic. Because
Yeah.
for some people, it is chronic. To be honest, I'm gonna. You know what? We should actually. So I'm gonna take one. I'm gonna take one from Beard. Beard posted, "What is the scariest movie I have ever seen?"
Mm.
So this one, believe it or not, it's tough to give me a really really scary movie I have ever seen. But I think it's really good. Personally, it freaked me out. If it's able to freak me out, it's good because usually when I watch horror movies or when I watch, or even when I play video games or when I play movies, I try not to. I try to make myself. I guess I try to make myself vulnerable. I try to put myself in the space of the movie, in the situation at hand, because that's what makes me. I like getting scared. I like being, if it's jump scares, I like that stuff. Uh, but most importantly, I like the story. But for something to freak me out, like freak me out, the closest thing to like super super scary for me was Marianne, and it's not even a movie. I think it's on Netflix still. It's called Marianne.
Mm.
If you look it up, it's on Netflix. It's a series. It's a series that it's made. I don't know. It's not English. It's not in. It is in English, but it's altogether crypto.
Okay.
Marianne. So I'm gonna try to see if I can look it up. But yeah, yeah, like just like that, and it's really good. I think it's really good. It's really freaking creepy. It's a good series. I kind of wish they would have kept the series going, but it is really it, there is a little bit to be had with Lost in Translation because obviously it's dubbed into English, so you might if you get upset with people's mouth moving and then not matching with what you hear in English, that might be an issue. I know some people are put off by that. For me, I love watching uh, like horror from all around the world, so that's not a big problem for me. But check it out, Marianne. It might still be on Netflix if I'm not mistaken. Look it up. That shit is fucking freaky. It really in some situations it really got me, and there's a few scares in there that I was not expecting, and they fucking got me. Marianne, yeah. So let me see if I can find it for you. Hold on a second. Um,
Yeah, so probably like one of the types of horror movies that has always been like that just really strikes a chord with me as far as like bothers me, like actually bothers me has always been like ever since I was a kid, like Night of the Living Dead. Um the zombie movies, not like every zombie movie, like obviously Resident Evil, things like that don't bother me at all. Those are I love those movies. But like Night of the Living Dead bothered me and like movies like 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, like the probably a specific scene in 28 Days Later is when the father is with his daughter and they're just kind of like stopping to kind of gather themselves, and he's just like he looks up and there was a crow feasting on a carcass or something, and a drops in the corner of his eye, and all he has time to do is turn to his daughter and say, "I love you," and then he's like, and then he changes. That part got me.
Yeah, that part's freaking. Ugh.
Yeah, that part got me. Like Daisy, none of that stuff bothers me. But it's the movies like 28 Days Later where there's like honestly I could see that happening. Like that's not so far fetched that it couldn't happen. But the killing without motive, I think, is what freaks me out. The no emotion, no no premeditation. It's just they're just killing. You know, they're feeding or they're killing or whatever it is. But yeah, that's probably like the genre that freaks me out. Yeah, that looks intense.
Yeah, Marianne's pretty good. So going with this
Coraline.
question goes along with what you were talking about. This one's preferred Japanese horror or American horror series, and which ones are better and why. So for me personally, I don't think either or are better than each other. American horror has its place, uh, and I'm used to American horror. Japanese horror or Asian horror and any kind of like international horror has its flavor, and that's what makes them a good change of pace than American horror. In American horror, the differences between them both is American horror externalizes issues. So in American horror, what I mean by that is you have an external killer. You have Jason, you have Freddy, you have Michael Myers, you have all of these external, you have even nature against humans. And it's just, that's what it is, period. It's an external force that's coming to get you, it's going to kill you. That's what it is. Whether it's e- even even supernatural horror. For example, you have supernatural horrors like The Exorcist and all that stuff. It's still an external thing that's coming to get you. The difference between that kind of horror and Japanese horror or uh, horror that's being created in Japan currently, or at least where it started, is their horror is internalized. So if there is, like for example, The Grudge, it's an internalized horror that is caused by people themselves. They really they're introspective in themselves to see that I caused this issue, I caused this problem. The curse is there because of me, and I have to deal with this, or I have to end this, or fix this problem, or something like that. And a lot of their horror is based off of things like that, and their horror ends almost. It's almost like most of their horror movies end that same way, where the hero or the protagonist in that movie has to face their fear or face their inner demons in order to vanquish that horror. And you always realize it towards the end that it was their problems, their issues that caused the nightmare in the first place. And that's one of the biggest refreshes for horror. That's what makes them good, because you never know until it's too late that you were the one that fucked up. Best example of this, Pulse. Best example of that. If you haven't seen the original Japanese Pulse movie, go check it out. There is an American version of Pulse. It does not give it justice. I will say that it's a good movie. I'm not going to knock it, but it is not. It comes nowhere near to what the original movie Pulse was. Go check that shit out. It is gripping. That shit fucked me up.
What was the movie that that I told you I watched. That was about the cannibalism.
Okay, so, so that one was the Green Inferno.
Oh my god, that was a ride
That
for
was actually,
sure.
believe it or not, man, the Green Inferno is actually I consider it the PG-13 version of the original. Uh, because it's basically a knockoff to if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's called Cannibal Holocaust, and that movie was banned in I don't know how many fucking state countries. That one is the original, and Eli Roth basically took that kind of concept and ran with it, and you have the Green Inferno.
Yeah, that movie was like,
Do not watch Cannibal Holocaust. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I really suggest not to watch Cannibal Holocaust. Watch everybody immediately after the end of the stream is gonna go watch fucking Cannibal Holocaust, but because nobody listens to me,
nope,
you know.
I trust you, brother, and I am gonna take your word for it, and I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, look, listen. I don't want nobody to, bro. Nobody to come into my fucking shit and say, "Oh, why did
That's
you
it
tell
too.
me to not watch that? It's so terrible. My God, I told you not to watch it in the first place, man. Now, look, you can't have noodles anymore. Sorry.
Dang it. Don't ruin noodles for me, bro. Yeah, Beard. We'll do that for a movie night.
Wait, what did he say?
Oh, Beard is adding dark and says new movie please for his Plex.
I'm gonna take one. So this one's kind of repeated. Horror comedy. So I'm gonna take this one from Female Magician. Horror comedy or scary horror movie. Um. Okay. One of my favorite, favorite horror movie, and this is gonna probably kill two birds with one stone. One of my favorite horror movies happens to be Cabin in the Woods. It is fucking phenomenal. If you have not seen Cabin in the Woods, that one is the one you should watch.
Is that the
Watch.
one
Now
with
some
Liam Hemsworth?
yes, sir.
Yeah, that was good.
It's literally right before he actually had done Cabin in the Woods before he did Thor during that time, but they had some issues with I forgot what it was, publishing issues or something like that with Cabin in the Woods that they had to hold it back. So it had apparently Thor came out, I think, before Cabin in the Woods, and it was like the weirdest thing. Like, how did he get so big and then all of a sudden he got super skinny? I don't know. But that movie, go fucking watch. Do not watch Cannibal Holocaust. Go watch Cabin in the Woods. That one you should sit down, grab your friends. All right, that's a great uh, like a great I guess yeah, it's a good Discord watch, I guess, or if you have your friends like that actually touch grass, tell them to come over and then make some popcorn, watch Cabin in the Woods.
One movie I actually enjoy it's got some like, I guess you could say, odd type comedy. I personally enjoyed it. I was not expecting it to be what it was, and that was Dreamcatcher. Like, I did not expect that movie. It definitely caught me off guard. It's not like one that I'm always like, oh my god, you gotta see this movie, but it sticks out to me, I think, for the sheer fact that, like, I went into it not like knowing nothing about it, and it it was way better than I guess what I expected it to be.
I agree with you. I feel like that. I know that Stephen King movies are either really out of left field or they're really good. Like, for example, Pet Cemetery, Dreamcatcher. It's a pretty good one. I liked it personally. I like it. I feel like most people are like down. They're a little shaky on that movie. Some people hate it. Some people that I know hate it, but I personally like it. I like the twist. It's another good one. It's another good one.
Yeah, I think for like it's definitely not like if you're looking for a serious nitty gritty horror movie like Green Inferno or something like, yeah, you would be very disappointed with Dreamcatcher, but I think it kind of like it rode a fine line, and I think it did it pretty good.
Yeah, it's that twist always catches people off guard. I remember when that movie was in theaters, I heard a bunch of people walking out of that movie because they didn't like it. But um, speaking of signs, by the way, Beard, there's some aspect to signs. I'm going to use this for the next question, which is also from female. Best found footage film. This one, there's a lot of contention between this one because uh, I do like Blair Witch Project, the original Blair Witch Project. Uh,
That movie
just
messed
simply
me up after the fact.
just the fact that they used the time period of when they made that movie to mess with everybody. They told the actors to just lay low, do not get out of the house, tell your friends to go out and buy you food if you have to. Give them the money and they'll bring you the food if you have to go out so you don't have to go out. So that people start to question, did these people actually really disappear or not? And that there's no internet, nobody can search shit up. So it was just the perfect time. It was like perfect storm kind of thing.
It's trippy.
But it made the found footage stuff made it, and uh, M Night Shyamalan used that shit for Signs to really good fucking effect because that was impactful with the fucking alien, dude.
Yeah.
But for me, the best found footage uh, has to be the original Wreck. If you've ever seen Rec, like REC, like recording,
I've never seen that, honestly.
if you want to see the remake, because they did a basically a shot for shot remake, you can go check out Quarantine.
Oh, okay. I've seen Quarantine.
So Quarantine is the girl that's doing the footage for the firefighters, and she's gonna follow with them to work, and then things happen. It's I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody, but things happen, and it's all caught on tape. But that's the original one, which is Wreck, is actually in Spanish. And if you happen to know Spanish, it is fucking scary. That shit got me because it is some of the way that they did these effects and stuff like that are fucking bonkers because they don't like, at least the way you see it. If they hide it, it's a really well hidden like cutaway. So you don't cut away. It's like almost like the camera's rolling the entire damn time. And there's things that are happening. There's like, how the hell did that happen? Or it's just Rec is such a good. It's just REC crypto.
Okay.
So if you want to watch the original,
I think I've seen it. I think I remember seeing. Let me see. Let me Google it real quick. Never seen the movie, but I remember. Yep, I remember the cover of the. Yeah, I didn't think quarantine was too bad.
I guess for me it was the time that I saw Wreck,
Yeah.
and I think because when I saw Quarantine, I had already understood that um, it's just that effect that you have with certain actors that you've seen them in other works, and I kind of doesn't have the same effect in comparison to an actor that you don't know, and he's just fresh on the scene and he's just doing his thing. It kind of, I don't know. It's a weird. It's pretty fresh. All right, last one I think for sure, which is from Old School Slayer. It's off of
Okay.
your Discord. Uh, Obviously, if nobody else has any questions, where would you like to take your stream next? I don't know if this is a YouTube question or not.
Mm.
I think I don't know. Hmm. I would definitely like to innovate uh, a little bit more. I kind of want to experiment a few things here and there. I've wanted to dabble for a long time on VR and see what I can come up with in VR to kind of like incorporate into the stream a little bit. But currently, it's a little difficult for me right now with the have to find some good VR games to play because right now some of the horror games on VR is kind of I don't know, just chocked full of jump scares, but not, and then that's it. There's nothing else, no sustenance to it. Maybe a multiplayer VR. I don't know. I want to see some good stuff coming out in VR before I actually fully jump into it and incorporate it into the stream. But yeah, maybe the forest. Okay, maybe we could play the forest on VR, and then everybody could see me struggling and me trying to, I don't know, help crypto build a thing
Bro, Forrest
and then
was
die from it.
when the like the whole Rocket team all molded into one came out. That that I was not expecting. It like it didn't scare me. It was just the sheer fact that I wasn't expecting it. So I was just like dun, 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 but like in the worst way possible.
That night was that was awesome. I feel like we got to go back in there and
Yeah, I'd definitely be down. I
show
I,
those mutants.
I definitely want to play Back 4 Blood with you too.
Hell yeah. Well, that's gonna be a growing pains, especially with the whole nightmare and now no mercy.
Oh, they
Oof.
added a no mercy mode.
Yeah. No hope. Sorry, no mercy. No mercy is the old. Sorry, back for Left for Dead map. Sorry,
Okay.
excuse me. But no hope map. So no hope difficulty. That's just no joke.
It looks like a lot of fun.
I'm not a VTuber. I'm not gonna. I did try VTubing before it was a thing. Believe it or not. I used some VTubing stuff. There was when I tried it, there was no VTuber thing available. It was like this weird hodgepodge thing that I had going on. That was I'm talking about like Star Wars Tantrum. Some people saw it. Very few people saw it. It was really weird because it was very tough on the system. Uh, I did a B2 battle droid from Star Wars. So the little guy was moving around, you know, and it was kind of crazy. He took over the stream for that whole night. People were like, "What? What the hell's going on?" Back before VTubing was a thing. So the little robot was hitting headshots on Tatooine, man.
Did you ever play Labyrinthine?
No, it was. I feel like I had it on my wish list. I think,
Yeah.
but I feel like the scare factor on that was a little low,
Yeah.
a little low. So it kind of went on the back foot in comparison.
What was the one of the recent games you played about the twin sisters?
Hmm.
Some
Oh, Martha is dead.
Yes. That one was like it was good.
That game was rough.
It was good though. Like I loved the storyline and it was good. I like the puzzle solving and everything that was in it.
Yeah, the puzzles were not bad. I have this issue where every single horror game apparently has a puzzle mechanic to it, or like for the majority of those games, and I'm just not very good with puzzles. I'm kind of a two head. Okay, I don't have the dent, but I definitely am a two head with those puzzles. So
Enhances
it's
photography skills.
it's a love hate relationship with those puzzles. But I do got them photography skills though. That I feel like that kind of saved me there. I can't say the same for Jesus. What was that puzzle game? Oh my god, dude! This just
Talking about the one uh where you were, I remember you were like, it almost looked like a park type setting where you were.
yes. So yeah, so Five Nights at Freddy's, the security breach. Jesus, that the Simon Says mini game.
Yeah.
Damn that game to hell. Oh my god, that was terrible, dude. I can't play. I don't know how to. I'll forget. Forever, never play Simon ever again.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna play Simon.
Yeah, my memory continues to get worse and worse as I get older and older.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
Oh, beard. Yeah, I should be
What?
able to. I can give you some kind of like a timestamp, beard.
So, Welcome to the Game is another one. If you've never seen that game, Crypto, that game, fuck that game.
I don't think that one's not sounding familiar.
Welcome to the Game is it's kind of like a puzzle game where you are the hacker and you have to find the elusive and uh, I guess you could say secret red room, the fabled red room in the dark web. Okay, where only the best of the best hang out, and only the exclusives are able to get in, all deep inside the dark web. So you're a hacker, and you have to find clues and hidden stuff inside the dark web in order to get the password in order to get into the red room. So the problem is people find out that you are a hacker and you are trying to get close to the red room, and external forces try to stop you. So, in other words, you are in your house, you're hacking away, and you know a white van shows up at the front of your door, or at the front of your house, and or somebody sneaks into your room, turns off your lights while you're not looking, or while you're turned away looking at your computer screen.
Jeez.
That game destroys me. Number one, because I'm too stupid to figure out the clues. And it's like randomly generated every time you play. So it's not like you play it once and you know every secret.
Oh
It's
wow.
randomly generated every single time. And the Russian guy gets me every time. He goes through my window and he kidnaps me. Okay, I'm not gonna get into any more in case you want to play it so that you can. But I'm gonna say this: wear some diapers and clear your freaking browser. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, that game has it's. I've only played part one. Part one is difficult as hell. I can never find it. I can never get to the red room. I get like halfway. I think that the farthest I've ever gotten is to hotmommies.com.
God.
And it's really bad, dude. You gotta click on shit. Um, I don't know. It's just it's kind of crazy.
Sounds like a to quote a line from Star Wars. It's a trap.
It's bro. It is definitely a fucking trap, especially like the uncensored YouTubers live, hackedcams.com or whatever. Where you gotta click on the YouTuber's nipples. Yeah,
Oh jeez. Oh my,
it's
oh my luck, my young son would come busting into my door and be like, "Dad."
there's some crazy shit in that. There's like where it's in the. I mean, remember you're in the dark web, and there's like a question generator or a question where you can submit your questions for answering. But it's in the dark web, so you send questions, you solicit questions in the dark web, and hopefully somebody answers it. And there's just some of the worst questions. Oh my god, like really bad, like really bad questions, bro. I don't even know, like off the top of my head, some of the bad questions that people answer or something like that. Like, what do I do? How do I like? Well, I mean, so one of the ones that I could actually answer are like the chemical combinations to make acid or something like that, so that they could do something with that acid or whatever. And it is just, and somebody answers the correct chemical compounds to make or whatever.
I'm
I don't
guessing to
know.
like dissolve a body or something like
See,
that.
exactly. There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, shit like that. And like it's the dark web, so you're gonna see stuff that would you normally see in the Silk Road. Down the classic Silk Road stuff. People selling banned substances. People selling firearms and stuff like full automatic firearms with the serial numbers taken out. Like stuff like that. But the goal is to find the hidden stuff in the code that leads you to the red room.
Sounds really interesting, honestly.
Up to yeah, that's what I said too until I got kidnapped. They don't want you to find that red room, man. I'm
It
just telling
doesn't
you.
sound like they want you to find the red room.
You're hacking away and you hear footsteps in your kitchen, and that just freaks me. Freaks
Yeah,
me
I'm not
out.
okay with that.
Supposedly part two is a lot better, but you have to like put blocker, like it's because you could physically walk around the house, which is what makes it crazy. It's like have you ever played Five Nights at Freddy's?
I have not.
So, well, in Five Nights at Freddy's, you're kind of stuck in a room, but you have control over cameras
Okay.
externally, and then you have control over doors that are next to you, to your left and to your right. So imagine that game, but except you can get up and you could go to the specific sections where the cameras are. So in this game, you could get up from your computer, you could look into the kitchen, and then you could go sit back down on your computer. You could go to the front door and see what's outside the front door,
No, thank you.
and then come back into the into the computer. You can't go anywhere else. And the only way that you could look is to get away from the computer and look. And by then, most of the times, he's already inside the house.
Jeez. Yeah, I'd probably. Yeah, I'd probably be crying in a puddle in the middle of the floor.
I will be playing some. I'll say this: I will be playing Visage later on in the month. Visage is one game that I have not played because that game's really affects me like no other game does. Like I play all kinds of horror, but Visage for me, I get a little nervous
I
playing Visage.
feel like I've seen somebody at least attempt to play that. Like that's not the first time I've heard that. Beard is asking if you plan on playing Scorn.
Oh yes, yes. That
That
is, I've been waiting for that for years. I've been on their production stuff, like a lot of the like some of the backers and stuff like that. I'm very attentive on that game specifically. I love the art style. I love everything about it. I am taking some of this stuff with a grain of salt, though. I'm going to be honest because with this long of a production cycle, it means a lot of other stuff is involved. So I'm just I'm expecting the worst from that game, but I'm gonna go into it enthusiastic about it. So I'm hoping it's pretty good. Speaking of scoring, that's what I'm saying.
yeah. Yeah, I think that is where I've heard of it. Cross is Blue. I think I remember watching Blue play that.
It, it's it's like the PT. So Visage is like the PT demo. Uh, PT meaning like Silent Hill, the Silent Hill version, like the old school PlayStation PT demo
Yep.
based off of Silent Hills. That was that game particularly was unsettling as hell. That psychological horror is what I loved.
Yeah, I remember Silent Hill was pretty groundbreaking when it came out. I don't remember like that was a game I think that like people was like you need to stay away from that game. Like back in that day. Like there's that game, there's something wrong with that game. You need to stay away from that game.
Yeah, Visage. The fact that Visage can looks the way it does, that really it looks very lifelike, affects it even more. Like that puts it over the edge, and then you have the realism. Like shit, there's something about Visage that it gets me. It gets me, man. So I mean, I'm gonna be playing it closer to the end of the month. I gotta see. I gotta see when I start it because I don't want to get too late into the month because I don't want to interrupt like some of like the birthday stream and stuff like that. Go a little bit later. 'Cause
Your
I
birthday
want to.
stream?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck. Uh, oh, you didn't know? Wait, fuck, dude. I didn't say anything, did I? Is so at the end of the month is my birthday.
Yeah, I didn't know your birthday was this month.
Shit. I mean, it's on Saturday, but I'm gonna try to do something on Thursday or Wednesday, or maybe I don't know yet. Maybe leading up to my birthday, the 27th or the 28th. Kind of have like people chime in, like fun games or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
So your
I know
birthday's the
for
30th then.
people are gonna punish me and they're gonna make me want to play the worst horror game ever. If you think that Visage is bad, you've never seen me play Fall Guys.
Yeah, Fall Guys is it's a rough one.
Fall Guys is the worst horror game ever.
I don't
So
know. I found myself playing one of the like worst horror games ever in my department. Recently, I've been actually playing it quite a bit, and that's Fortnite.
okay. Actually, well, I mean that's. I
But
guess
honestly, I've been enjoying it. I mean, if we're just being honest.
it's yeah. You guys got to start somewhere. Fortnite's a good place to start for horror.
Yeah. Nothing is scarier than Batman playing a sexy saxophone.
Dude, I don't know. Well, between okay, Fortnite. Look, I'll take Fall Guys as the scariest horror game ever over Fortnite. I could still play Fortnite,
Yeah.
especially the no build one. I could play that. I'm totally fine with that. Fall Guys is where I draw the line. That
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I'm actually Fortnite's grown on me a lot with the no build mode for sure. Pogo stuck? Never heard of it.
I got to make sure that my dates are right. So I have to look at my calendar. That's why I'm looking off to the right.
I thought he was talking to Matt.
No, if I'm talking to Matt, yeah, you, bro. All right, get okay. You can go back to work now. Okay. No, sit. Sorry.
So it's sounding like chat. His birthday is on the 30th because he said Saturday and he said
Yeah,
days
this.
leading up to.
Yes, because I don't get days off of work, even if it's my fucking birthday. So
Yeah.
Friday is going to be a little tough for me. Friday I still work, and there's going to be like a midnight thing where I'm going to go to an event
Okay.
for Friday at least, just to call it a little day. But Saturday is going to be the actual birthday. So because I don't want to miss anything, I'm gonna just try to do some like a cool uh, community stream with everybody on the stream and just let everybody pick the games. We might do some Jackbox. I don't know. We've had some trouble with Jackbox before, randoms joining in and stuff like that. So we might have to hide the code or whatever, and then whoever's actually in chat can join in. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll
Sounds
see.
good. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. Thank you, a huge thank you to Tantrum for being our first victim. I mean, guest on the Kryptocast. I feel like I had an excellent time. I appreciate being able to hang out with you all. And Legion, thank you so much for participating. The Crypto fam, thank you all so much for being here. Beard, again, hats off. A tip of the hat, twirl of the cane to you, my friend, for this amazing suggestion. Um, I've had a fantastic time, and you will have to keep us informed on if you're going to get to do a private showing or even stream um, Zombie Jesus Vampire Hunter. The best of luck to you, my friend. You are an amazing individual. You're an amazing person. Um, and we just count ourselves lucky to be able to hang out with you, to call you a friend, and you're you're a great example of what we should be. So um, I appreciate you. I appreciate the Legion, and thank you guys again for tuning in and hanging out with us and chatting it up. We appreciate you all. Until next time,
It's been a privilege, gentlemen.
thank you very much for your time, sir. Thank you very much, Legion. We will catch you next time. I hope you all have a great night. Guys, remember, love is a verb, so make sure you're showing those around you that you love them through your actions. We'll catch you next time.